You had a Lady Vols legend front and center to watch you guys on Saturday when Chamique Holdsclaw, and I saw you got to, talk to her after the game. Just what did it mean to you that she came to support the team, and were you able to share any of what you guys talked about after the game, her impression?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. She was very encouraging and uplifting and supported the team, and I thought that was great.
Coach, you guys back in the top 25 test, saying that was a big goal, to put Tennessee back on the map. What does that mean in this program?
Yeah, it means a lot, and I think the best part is we earned it. We didn't start that way, so we really had to make sure that we played the schedule and won the quality wins that we got and didn't get in there just by name alone, and we earned to be in there, which was good.
Coach, I noticed you were doubling in the post lot. Was that a scouting report thing, or was that just something that kind of happened and something you're going to do throughout the season?
No, it was a scouting report thing.
I know we've talked about shot selection a lot, but I wanted to ask you specifically about just like the three-pointers. When your team's taking quick ones, what does a good three-pointer in that situation look for you? Like for you, is it dependent on the player who's taking it, the game situation? Like, what are you kind of telling your players about those three-pointers that you want them taking?
Yeah, I think it comes with feel. I think once one goes in, we all are a little more loose, and so when it's going our way, it's going our way, and then realizing when it's not to find other shots. And the frustrating part for me is we can get other shots. We'll just settle for threes. And so, again, we're still watching it on the film. We're still talking about percentage. And, again, when it clicks or if it clicks, it's going to be special. Until then, we just got to make sure we know the difference of what your percentage is, why you are open, how open you are, what the shot clock is looking like. Have you made one yet? Are you 0 for 2? All of those things.
I don't know if you experienced this at other stops, but you're going to finals end tomorrow, so you're going to have like 5 weeks of just basketball. As a coach, what is that like? How do you manage a long stretch where it's just basketball and it's only basketball?
I love it when it's just basketball and it's only basketball, and you can go whenever you want, however many times you want, and that's what they're focused on. That you seem to get their best on teams that are dedicated and teams that really want to win championships. When they don't have to go to class and they can just play basketball, you seem to see some improvement out of your teams.
I felt like Saturday I noticed a lot of players talking, especially defensively, and being vocal, like several players across the board. How do you feel like the communication has stepped up maybe in the last few games, and do you feel like you have seen an improvement in that area?
I do think our half-court defense is getting better, which is good. I think we had some good leadership from the bench too, of the players that were not on the floor were coaching the players that were on the floor. We still had some breakdowns, but you're always going to have that, especially when you have so many possessions that we do, but I do think it's going the right direction.
I know you've talked about rebounding and how that is kind of correlated to effort. When you look at the team offensively, when they are taking these quick threes, maybe not always getting those long rebounds, if they're able to get those long rebounds, does that make those 3 attempts a little better? And how do you balance that?
Yeah, I think any shot we take, if we take a quick shot in transition or an early 3, you got to be able to go get the offensive rebound. So we watched that film yesterday about, hey, you took this layup, but you didn't have any, or this mid-range pull-up jump shot, but you didn't have any rebounders down there with you. So was it a good shot or a bad shot? And so all of those things. I was not happy with the rebounding in the last game. We worked on it yesterday, and we're going to work out on it throughout the rest of the week.
Ruby's effort in the second quarter, particularly, just like her urgency when you guys didn't have Talaysia, especially, felt like it just fueled that team. How does that aspect of her play benefit the team, especially when, a lot of this comes down to effort and hustling?
Yeah, I think my favorite part of Ruby's game is kind of just who she is as a person. It has nothing to do with skill set, but she's a great teammate. She works really hard. She'll make the hustle plays. She did a really good job in that game of keeping everyone together, calling huddles, making sure people were on the same page. She was vocal at halftime. She was vocal in timeouts. She was vocal with her team. And so from the start of that game, she was getting steals, score, and she really helped set the tone of what we wanted to do. So she's a huge part of our team, not just because of what her skill set is, but because of who she is.
Coach, early in the season, you said when you and your staff called fouls, your team would kind of argue with you. How has that awareness changed now that the season's gone on?
Yeah, we don't hear as much from them, but they still like to think they don't foul in the games. So it is what it is.
You've talked a lot about half-court defense. With your system, what is the biggest challenge for players to learn the half-court part? There's so much talk about your press and your offensive style, learning that. What's the challenge for players to get a firm grasp on your half-court defense?
Yeah, there's nothing really special about our half-court defense. We do have a few little tweaks here and there that we do differently than most teams, but it's still more effort-based. It's just more of, can we pay attention long enough, right? We're so fast-paced. We like to go like this. We like to go like this. Can we sit down and guard? And I think we can. We just pick and choose, right? We did it the first 4 minutes, and we were phenomenal the last 4 minutes. Everything else in between was okay. We just got to make sure that we're doing it for 4 quarters.
It seems sometimes in these games, especially in the second half, that the team was just waiting for Talaysia Cooper to get in the pocket of her defender and then have a fast break bucket. What things does she bring intangibly with her defense that really is a spark plug to this team?
Yeah, it's huge. She can go get a steal almost every time she wants one. She can force tempo. She can speed people up. And so all of those things are big on the defensive end, and she'll get the people around her to play just as hard.
Wanted to ask you something about something Coach Jan Jensen had been saying to her team about how you guys were just a little faster, a little taller, could jump higher. They were better basketball players. That's kind of like a common thing that other conferences say about the SEC, that it's all about athleticism and physicality and kind of discrediting the basketball players. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, and if you maybe that was a little unfair to your team or the system you run as well, to just kind of reduce it to, oh, well, they're just faster and can jump higher.
Yeah, well, I love athletes, and it would be very hard to play this way if you didn't have them. But everyone's going to do what they need to do as a coach to motivate their team. I like to motivate my team by yelling at them and being negative, but everyone's different, and so I think that's all that was.
I wanted to circle back to something in the preseason, that whiteboard. I know you used it during practices. How do you kind of implement it 7 games into the season now? With film, how is it used now?
Yeah, we're still picking what we need to pick on. So sometimes it'll look like if your middle drives, still rebounds are up there, turnovers are still up there. Just making sure whatever we want to emphasize that day, that they can see it in real time of what their stats are like.
I know Jewel Spear was dealing with a lower leg injury early in their season. Is she fully how healthy is she? Is she at 100%?
No, she's not at 100%, so we're just going to see what she looks like this week. Thank you, guys.